Dragon Ball Z is ass. We all have an opinion that we'll have our friends look at us like this. Well, mine is that Dragon Ball Z was not a good show. Objectively, there's so many shows that beat Dragon Ball Z in literally every category. Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop, Naruto, JoJo's, One Piece, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Fullmetal Alchemist, Bleach, Attack on Titan. Need I go on? Objectively, the show lacks in an abundance of areas, from plot to just basic pacing issues. But since people don't like to listen to reason, I'm gonna have to give my argument in my criticism sandwich. Top bun, love. The second layer is the meat. That's just one of my hating ass. And then last and finally, the bottom bun, which is love again. By the way, if I was looking at DBZ with bias, just letting you know, it'd be one of my top 3 shows. But what I'm going to bring up is objectively how the series looks to me and how I feel about the series. No bias being put in. That being said, let's get into it. The top bun. Dragon Ball Z is home to S-tier moments, S-tier characters, and S-tier transformations, where you have the first fight of the series, Goku versus Vegeta. Top tier fight. Immediately after that, you go to Frieza versus Goku. Another S-tier fight. There's Gohan versus Cell. You got Majin Vegeta versus Goku. Buu versus Vegeta. Kid Buu versus Vegeta. All of these moments are S-tier moments. They've created a movement for their fights and just the moments in general in the series that raise it to a tier above greatness. Some of the S-tier characters include, obviously Goku, Krillin, Vegeta, Gohan, Frieza, Future Trunks, and Kid Trunks. Every single android design, even Android 19 and 20. Cell, every single transformation of Cell, Majin Buu, and Kid Buu, which might be the best designed characters in the series. And then you got transformations, which Dragon Ball Z is known for. You got all types of fusions like Vegito, Gotenks, every fusion you could think of. And then last but not least, you have Super Saiyan, which is one of the most iconic transformations, not only in Dragon Ball Z, but in all of anime. You can't give me a reason why any other transformation would be above Super Saiyan. You just can't. Even non-anime watchers know what Super Saiyan is. So Dragon Ball Z has S-tier moments, and it makes me understand why it can be put up there with some of the GOATs. But just because these are S-tier moments doesn't mean it's an S-tier show. The meat. Pause. Unfortunately, you need more than good fights, characters, and transformations to be a good anime. We saw that with God of High School. Crunchyroll, y'all tried. Mappa, hey, animation was clean. Y'all tried to do it justice, but we saw what happened. What killed the show, and the reason why it doesn't have a second season right now is because the plot and the pacing were horrible. These are basically also my main complaints about Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z's pacing is absurd. There's no reason that there should be a fight foreshadowed. For example, Goku versus Frieza was shadowed at the beginning of Planet Namek arc. Everyone knew the fight was going to happen. Everyone was waiting for Goku to arrive. Tell me why he didn't arrive until the 26th episode. The 26th episode of the Namek arc. That's halfway into an arc. The main character shows up. Half of those episodes, I was just waiting for Goku to show up. Maybe my attention span is just short, but 25 episodes for your main character to show up is just crazy. It wasn't even like they were building up the other characters in the series. It was literally just Krillin and Bulma just running. Literally just running. And while pacing isn't everything, sometimes you just overlook it. Like, I see that One Piece also has terrible pacing. I can admit it. Even though One Piece is one of my favorite shows, pacing is, just gone out the roof. It's kind of hard to do it with a 1,000-episode anime with so much content packed into the arcs, but Dragon Ball Z does not have that problem. There's not enough content for them to make these arcs this long. I feel like half the episodes are literally just them powering up in order to fight the opponent. If I haven't etched it into your mind enough, I think Dragon Ball Z has terrible pacing. And if that wasn't a good enough argument for you, I can also point out that Dragon Ball's plot is also not good. Don't let S-tier moments and S-tier characters and S-tier fights to confuse you for good plot. The plot of Dragon Ball is they see an enemy, they're not strong enough to fight him, they train, they're strong enough to fight him. On to the next enemy. Rinse and repeat. And don't get me started on Senzu beans.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It's not even like they use senzu beans in a good way. Maybe senzu beans can only be used once because it disrupts the ki inside your body. There literally has to be a limit because there's no reason that anybody in any show should be able to just pop a bean in their mouth and be fully revived. That doesn't make sense. I tell y'all, I've watched this show as a kid and I recently went back to watch it. This is what inspired this video because I could not get through the entire series. It took me a while. It took me about 8 months or like 7 months for me to actually finish it. And it just didn't hook me as it did when I was a child, I'm not gonna lie. But as I say all this, I still can't say that Dragon Ball Z is overrated. The bottom bun. Let me finish off this video by celebrating Dragon Ball Z. I've done a lot of hating this video, but I think Dragon Ball Z is still a cause for celebration just because of what it's achieved. Dragon Ball Z is timeless. Not in the sense as you can watch it in any time period and you're gonna be hooked. That is definitely not what I mean. It's timeless in the sense that throughout all generations, everybody knows what Dragon Ball Z is. It's one of those names that can connect people who've never known each other through a single series. Dragon Ball Z. Conversations can spark up out of nowhere between complete strangers just because the words Dragon Ball Z are said. That's how powerful the series is. It has created a culture far beyond any show. I really believe that Dragon Ball Z has the strongest culture, the strongest influence on all generations even now, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. It's also a reason that anime itself has become so popular, especially in the Western world, which is the United States. Without Dragon Ball Z, I doubt there would be as many anime watchers there are today in the United States. Dragon Ball Z is just a pioneer. It's what got a lot of people into anime. Speaking from self-experience, coming from the Black community, anime was never ever the norm, but everybody could bond over Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z introduced anime to everybody, and those who it really stuck with would go deeper into the anime community. Those who watched it but never really explored deeper, it made them a little bit more open to the idea of anime, and it made them a little less judgmental when it came to things like anime. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z is objectively bad, but Dragon Ball Z has done so many things for the community, including S-tier fights, S-tier moments, S-tier characters, S-tier transformations, as well as the culture they have created around anime, especially in the Western world and Black communities itself. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this video. I'm already knowing that not a lot of you guys are going to agree with me, but it was already expected when I came up with the idea for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It definitely helps and goes a long way. With that, peace y'all.